Hey y'all, Annalise here. Um, I just got this nudge to go ahead and record this for a dream that Holy Spirit dropped in my spirit. Now, here at Kingdom Perspective, the whole point here is to just flip our perspective from the world and society to kingdom. In that space, we're just how you say Selah. Selah means to pause and think on God or think about God's principles, or even really truly asking Holy Spirit, like, okay, what do you say it is? I know what I understand it as, I know what I perceive it as, but what do you say it is? And really, I found I am a helpless romantic, and to really discover what love is, that God is love, and understanding that love is not a feeling, and understanding um, that it's way more to it than what we think and know. It's like completely flipped backwards from what we know in society and culture. Um, it's just finding the greatest love that I've ever known and ever will know. And it's this space of just wanting to share it with you guys, and just these little nuggets and little things that I've learned have helped me to not only widen my perspective, grow my perspective, but also really grow my heart toward Abba. And honestly, it's all Abba's doing, but it's just the way that he's giving me revelation in these little nuggets is just kind of like slowly opened and like bloomed this flower. So anywho, the message for right now, he wanted me to give this dream. I don't know who it's for. I guess it'll be for somebody. I have no idea. He told me to record it. I don't know if I'm supposed to record the whole thing, but hey, we're going to try and follow Holy Spirit's leading here. So there's the dream I had. And he was actually, I had clicked on this video on YouTube because I like to watch like nature scenes and like the different how you say videos of different places like Bora Bora or Maldives, or um when I watched, I think it was named Spaldini in Greece or whatever. I just like watching them, to see the water, to see the waves, to see the nature, to see the different things. It's very peaceful. So there was one that I saw that was Mallorca. And when I saw this, and I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes, I jot and write everything down. So Mallorca was the video that I tapped on, or that I pressed on. When I pressed on this video, it actually triggered a memory that I had, which is something else that we'll just skip over. It triggered a memory, but that memory triggered this memory in the dream. So in the dream, it was this almost like shiny city, and the shiny city was almost like I don't know if you guys seen that movie, what was it, Robots? Not iRobot, but robots, with the blue robot who wanted to invent things. So it was shiny, and there was this like storefront, and it had this like dog with this red writing on it. It almost looked like a St. Jude, but it wasn't St. Jude. It just, the way that it had the little dog, and then it had the writing on it. I can't make out the writing. Anywho, this store was like, okay, this is always something that I wanted. I always wanted to work here. And I was telling somebody that was next to me, I can't really make out, it felt like a girl, but I can't really make out. It just felt like a being, and it felt like a more divine being, like an angel. And they were in purple. So I'm like, okay, I'm like following them down the street, and I'm showing them this store, and I'm like, oh, I always wanted to work here. So as I'm looking through the window, there's like people waving at me as if they know me, and I'm like waving back like, hi. And as we walk in, it almost looks like this restaurant, but then as soon as we go through the door, it was like a shoo, like all the way up. And when we went all the way up, it was like we were in a skyscraper. When I say, hold on, I think my phone's giving me a timer here. Hold on. Okay, let me not get distracted. Okay, the when we went inside, like when okay, how do I say it? Like the help me, Holy Spirit. Okay, the hold on. Okay. Um, sorry, I was recording and then my phone was like, bruh, you're out of storage. So I had to go back and clean out my storage. I don't know who that's for. Maybe you need to clean out your storage or clean out like old stuff, old mindsets, old things that just don't serve you anymore. I don't know if that's for somebody, but anywho, oh, and yeah, like I have dreads, so it's way down in the back, and sometimes it just scoots off, and sometimes I just leave it, and I'm just like whatever. But I fixed it, whatever. Anywho, not getting distracted. So we were at the part in the dream where we went inside, and all of a sudden it was just like going into this skyscraper. It was just whoosh. Like when I say quick, like as soon as we opened the door and stepped inside, it was like we were already at the top. So being at the top, these skyscrapers, like when I say they were so high that the you could see like like a couple other buildings that looked high, but the clouds, like you were above the clouds. You know those scenes when you just like they have the cloud scene where you're flying above the clouds and you can see like the moon, or you can see the sun, and you can see like just the horizon of clouds, and then there's more sky. Like that's how it looked. Like you could see clouds and clouds just moving around the buildings or whatever, but we're so high that you could just see above the clouds. So I'm in this room, and I am, how do you say, where was I? I'm looking at my notes. I'm in this room, and there is like a row of people, and it's actually a big row of people. They're all at this gigantic, when I say gigantic, I mean gigantic, as if it almost took up the entire floor of that building, where of a rectangular table. And it's like they're almost like desks, but they're really just place settings or placeholders for each person. And there's this rectangular thing above the the um the desk. Hold on, let me see, hold on. i don't think i can um I don't think I can turn this around to show you, because I drew it down. It's basically like, um okay okay, so you got this long rectangular table, right? But there's this thing that's above them. It's like almost like it were to be like this, like it's like this, and it sits over them, and it's like an air conditioner, but it's also a light, but it's also something else. Like I knew it did other things, but I had no idea like what it did. So anywho, like there's this large like rectangular table, and there's so many people at this table. Like there's so many people. And what was it? Where am I? Help me, Holy Spirit. So it was like like people knew me, like everybody knew me or whatever. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Anywho, I'm walking in there, and everybody's just waving at me like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, they're excited, and they're just waving at me, and I'm waving back because I'm like, okay, you look familiar. There was this little girl that like hopped up the chair, and I'm like, oh, I was familiar with her, like I knew her or whatever. And then um where was I? And I don't know what it was, but it just felt like I had some type of a leadership or authority. I don't know if it was like owner or CEO, whatever it was. Um and I was coming to like collect something. I can't remember exactly how many people there were. Um But there was these papers I was collecting, and it felt like a long time coming. Like when I say a long time coming, it felt like, oh my gosh, like these are finally put through and we finally got it. Um, but it was like stuff like debt, rent, school stuff, like school debt, all of these types of things that it was just like, what what is this? Anywho, my phone being weird. So, um, I'm like, what is this? Like, but you could see that it was like this paper. I can't make out what was written there, but whatever was at the bottom was like a number. And then I had to get everybody to sign it like a signature. But these weren't little numbers. They weren't like, little $400, $300. These were like upwards is like 50K plus, and just up and up and up and up. And you can see on each one of them. And I was like collecting them. Um, so I had to collect them and get their signatures and whatnot. And as I was collecting them, it was like, it felt like a celebration, like a party or like an end of the year type thing, like at the end of the school year where you have um that big party or whatever. That's what it felt like. Or like a company party, like when you guys make a milestone or whatever. That's what it felt like. um so then there was this lady that was in the dream, and it seemed like she was like one of the supervisors. So I was going to her to collect like the rest of whatever I needed to collect, and I was asking her what the dogs were wearing, because there were three dogs in the dream that had long hair. One was black, one was like black with like white underneath their neck and on the paws, and then the other one was like white, black, and brown, like that kind of like spotted cat. um they all had this like sweet, like eucalyptus smell. It wasn't quite spearmint or peppermint, it was just wintry, and it was sweet. It smelled like sweet winter, or like first winter's snow. And I was asking her what it was, and she said it was a scent called Roy. And there was this guy that was there, and he said it's from this company called Moist, I guess, as in moist. I don't know if I heard that right. um and then I was picking up the papers because I feel like I dropped something. So I was picking back up the papers, and I was picking back up this card. It was like this card with like a red triangle on it, and it was like a little boy on it, and it said Roy. Um, and I picked all the stuff back up and put it on her desk because I feel like I knocked it over. But I picked it up, and then I picked up all of this stuff that I had in my hand, and then it was like kind of going about my way. But the dogs were kind of like following me a little bit, like, you know how dogs do when they kind of follow you and they sniff you and whatnot. So that's what was happening there. And after I did that, then I woke up. So then, like, all of my dreams, I have vivid dreams, and I write them down. And if you have dreams, definitely write them down. Even if you can only get like a smidget of it, write them down, and then I resubmit them to Holy Spirit. Like, okay, Holy Spirit, what are you saying to me in this dream? What are you saying to me? Like, I don't understand what this means. And this is what I wrote down that he gave me, that was the revelation to the dream. So with the way that we went in the store, and then we went straight up like into the skyscraper, that's supposed to be that suddenly pit to palace. There has been a shift in the atmosphere as far as in spiritually goes. There's been a heavy shift. There's so many people talking about it. There's so many what you calls that are talking about it. And by the way, make sure you're resubmitting every message or any message that you come across back to God, to make sure that it's for you. But also, if it is for you and is giving confirmation for you, ask him if it's for you for now, or if it's something to shelf for later. Like, ask the right questions, and if you don't know the right questions to ask him. He will tell you, because not everything is for everybody. You don't want to end up with hope deferred, because it's not a good feeling. You don't want to end up grabbing words that aren't yours, or that have anything tied to it that you don't want to have extra warfare and extra stuff for. Anywho, back on track. So this position that I had is, I guess, is supposed to be like, you know, you being put in that leadership or that upper position. Then the, I think it was a girl, it was a girl, it was the girl in purple that was walking with me, is that's the angel. And then the people and the ones that were just waving at me, that were just like, hey, like, how are you, and just waving at me, like they were just smiles and everything, those are supposed to be angels and like destiny helpers. And then I got the three dogs, it being like threefold, as far as in like a threefold blessing. But it also meant, okay, the Holy Trinity, as far as in dog backwards is God. So you have Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, because there was three of them. And just the way that they were surrounding me, as far as in like protecting me and everything, like that's what Holy Spirit was giving me. Then the scent that I was asking her about, it was Roy, ROI. That's how I seen it in the dream. And what I got was rate on and rate of return, like with interest. So you're getting that threefold blessing with interest. Then that first winter smell, just that sweet, like sweet eucalyptus smell, it was like a sweet winter smell, that right there. I was just like, I was so sweet. Like he's blowing me kisses there, because I'm sitting here thinking like there's like this wonderful girl named Dinah, and she like when she drops a word, man, be on my head top. But there was one thing she was saying about how like koalas and pink clouds were her password. And I'm just like thinking, I'm like, I don't think I have a password with you, Abba. Like, huh? I mean, cuz I see Abba, the way that he's opened my eyes, like I try to find him and contend to find him in everything, at least I try to. And so looking at him in everything, or trying to find him in everything, it's like he speaks through me through everything. So it's just like, okay. But there is that space of hang on, okay, so where was I? Okay, so Abba is so sweet, the way that he just like he speaks to me, he knows exactly what I like. So it's just like that space of like that first winter smell, he knows me, like he knows I love winter. I love winter. And he just recently, with that dino word, he dropped with the strawberries and the cherries. And I love strawberries, that's one of my favorite fruits aside from apples. And there is actually that day, how do you say, where Dinah, she gave like a little like post where she was telling how her niece had on like strawberry and cherry pajamas. I had actually had just got a cherry from my sister, because she had brought cherries in the house. So I had had a cherry, and I'm just like, oh my god, he blows my mind. But that right there was just like that one, that those sweet kisses that he be blowing, like winter and strawberries, like I love it, I love it, that's my thing. And then he was saying that the party part, as far as in like this celebration, was supposed to be like this, the what you call going around, like you've seen it in plenty of the videos, where it's like the Christmas in July, as well as the happy birthdays. And he's been giving me my birthday like everywhere, like I've been seeing my birthday everywhere. And if it's not my birthday, it's just the day. And I've been seeing that everywhere constantly. You know, he's basically saying, with all of this being confirmation, like, hey, you passed, this is all going to be stuff that's happening very swiftly, very suddenly. You're going to be moving into this space of like overflow in the blessings and whatnot, and it's going to be specifically tailored for you, tailored to you. But yeah, that's it for that message. So I will definitely be back up here when he nudges me to do another video. Other than that, you guys, stay close to Abba's feet. Like, you know, stay close to his feet, keep your ear to his lips, like, comment, subscribe, do the thing, but make sure you submit this back to him. um Even if it gives you confirmation, ask him how it gives you confirmation. He will unfold everything for you. But yeah, so I don't babble. It's telling me to get off. Okay, bye.